Hey y'all, welcome back to BrowTab School. As always, I am Alex, and today we're going to jump right in with a microblading tip. Because we haven't had one of those in a while. Are you struggling with color retention in your strokes? Do you want to just have even better color retention than you're currently having? Well, a pigment mask is going to be your new best friend. It can also be called a pigment bath or pigment soak, but it's all the same thing. Basically, all you're doing is taking the pigment that you're already using to put into your strokes, and at the end of each pass on each side of your brows, you are going to scoop some of that pigment out of your ring cup and put a layer of it on the brows, aka over your fresh new strokes. And then you are going to take that applicator and rub the pigment into the brows, into those fresh strokes. So why would we do this? The reason is we want to get even more pigment into those tiny little 0.16 millimeter width strokes that you just made, because the more pigment we get into the skin, the better retention is going to be. When I first started microblading, like almost 7 years ago, I wasn't taught to get as little pigment on your blade as possible. I would just dip into that pigment cup, whatever came out was great, and I would make my stroke with that, and it would turn into a big mess and I wouldn't actually be able to see my stroke. But times have changed, we've gotten smarter in this industry, and we've come to the conclusion that the less pigment we have on our blade, the more precise we can make our strokes, the more we can see our blade while we're making those strokes, the more we can see the strokes as we move through the brow. So this is where the pigment mask comes in. We're using the tiniest amount of pigment to make those strokes, but we want the biggest amount of pigment retention, so a pigment mask is needed. So how do we do it? It's simple. You do your first pass of strokes. I do mine on the right brow, do it on the left if you prefer that. And once you're completed with that first pass, I like to use the end of a microswab. You can use the end of a lip gloss applicator, the end of a mascara wand, whatever works for you, and dip it into your pigment cup, that same pigment that you're using to dip your blade in to make those strokes, and cover the brow in that pigment, and then take about 30 seconds to actually rub the pigment into the brow. After you've done that, wipe your brow clean, apply your secondary numbing, move to the next side. Do the same thing through each pass. After each pass, do a pigment mask, and then at the end of your service, do one more and make sure you really rub that color in there. Try this out and see if your color retention improves. There are other important keys to great color retention. Using an ultra nano blade, brow tabs are the best. Hitting the right depth when you're making each and every stroke. And aftercare, giving your clients proper aftercare and having your clients follow that proper aftercare. Miel Healing Balm is amazing. But this pigment mask quick tip is something that you can take and do with your next client and see results. So that's all. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. I put out new videos every second Monday. I'll see you there. If you're interested in more beauty business education, check out BrowTab School's online education platform. I'll put the link in the caption.